Hi, my friends. Starting today, we're going to begin a new video series. 1 week every day, I'll be teaching you about the most commonly used seasonings in Japanese cuisine. And today we'll start with sake, mirin, and cooking sake. And if you've ever tried making Japanese food at home, you've probably come across 3 ingredients that show up in many recipes: sake, mirin, and cooking sake. And I myself use these ingredients every day in my recipes. At first glance, they seem like the same thing. They're all made from rice and they all have something in common. But in practice, each one has a different role in Japanese cooking. And understanding this difference really changes the outcome of your recipes. Today I'm going to explain in a simple way what each one of them is, what they're used for, and also share some interesting facts that many people don't know. And let's start with sake. Sake is a traditional Japanese alcoholic beverage made from fermented rice. A lot of people call it rice wine, but actually it's made in a different way. The rice goes through a fermentation process that turns the starch into sugar and then into alcohol. Normally, sake has between 14% and 16% alcohol. Although it's a drink that's widely consumed in Japan, it's also used a lot in cooking. In Japanese cuisine, sake has some important functions. First, it removes the strong smell of fish or meat. The alcohol helps to volatilize the molecules that cause odor, making the food milder. It enhances the natural flavor of foods, helping to intensify the umami of fish, meats, and vegetables. Third, it tenderizes meat when used in marinades. That's why many Japanese recipes start with a simple mixture of sake, soy sauce, and a bit of sugar or mirin. This kind of base appears in dishes like simmered fish, chicken, teriyaki, and various Japanese home-cooked meals. An interesting fact is that in Japan, there's even an old custom of pouring sake over fish before grilling it to reduce the strong smell and make the flavor milder. Many Japanese cooks say that sake works almost like a natural flavor enhancer. And even when I roast a fish in the oven, I brush some sake on the fish first, and I guarantee it makes a big difference. And now, what about mirin? Mirin is also made from rice, but it's much sweeter than sake. This happens because during the production process, some of the natural sugar from the rice remains in the liquid. The alcohol content is usually between 10% and 14%, but the flavor is clearly naturally sweet. In Japanese cuisine, mirin has several important functions, balancing the saltiness of soy sauce, softening strong flavors, including those of fish and meat. The sweetness helps to round out and balance the intense flavor and gives shine to the food. You know, when you see Japanese fish or chicken with that appetizing shine, it's often the mirin that does that. It appears in several traditional recipes, such as teriyaki sauce, tamagoyaki, Japanese omelet, sauces for fish, and many Japanese simmered dishes. An interesting fact is that in Japan, there is a type called hon mirin, which is considered a traditional mirin. It is naturally fermented and has a more complex flavor. Some versions sold outside Japan have less alcohol and more added sugar. In the past, many centuries ago, mirin was even consumed as a sweet drink before it became a culinary ingredient. And now dry sake for cooking. Dry sake for cooking, called culinary sake in Japan, is made especially for cooking. It is similar to regular sake, but usually has a bit of salt added, so it can be sold as a culinary ingredient and not as a beverage. The flavor is usually a bit simpler, but it works very well in recipes, helping to remove strong odors, improve the taste of food, and assist in cooking. Many Japanese restaurants use this type of sake because it is cheaper and serves its purpose well in the kitchen. Why mix the ingredients? Many Japanese recipes use sake and mirin together. Others mix mirin with cooking sake, and some even use all 3 at the same time. And in my recipes, you can see that I mix 1 or even all 3 of these ingredients. And that's because each one acts in a different way. Sake removes strong odors and enhances the natural flavor, while mirin softens strong flavors and adds sweetness and shine. Cooking sake helps to enhance the flavor during cooking. When combined, they create a perfect balance of aroma, flavor, and shine. For example, in many Japanese simmered dishes, the mixture of sake and mirin helps to remove the fishy smell while also softening the intense flavor. On the other hand, the combination of mirin and cooking sake balances sweetness and deep flavor. And what happens when all 3 appear together? The goal is to create several layers of flavor at the same time, making the dish well-balanced and aromatic. A classic example is teriyaki sauce, which usually contains soy sauce, mirin, sake, and sometimes a bit of sugar. During cooking, the alcohol evaporates, but the aromas remain and make the flavor deeper. And in many Japanese restaurants, before grilling the fish, the chef brushes it with sake, lets it rest, and then cooks it with mirin and soy sauce, ensuring the fish is tender, aromatic, and shiny. And there's a trick for those who don't have mirin. If you don't have mirin at home, you can improvise. Just mix sake with a little sugar. The result isn't exactly the same as traditional mirin, but it works very well. And it's a trick used by Japanese chefs outside of Japan. So, what's our conclusion? Although they may seem similar, mirin sake and cooking sake have different functions in Japanese cuisine. Sake helps to remove strong odors and intensifies the flavor, while mirin softens the taste, adds shine and sweetness. Cooking sake is a practical and economical version for cooking. By combining all three, you get a balanced, flavorful, and aromatic dish, with that special touch that only Japanese cuisine has. It's details like this that turn a simple recipe into a dish full of flavor and amazing appearance. And here's a tip. Whenever you cook or roast fish, make sure to use these three ingredients to make your food much tastier, more aromatic, and more presentable. And don't forget, throughout this week, every day, I'll bring you a video talking about a seasoning from Japanese cuisine. If you have questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Big hug.